Tzu Chi volunteers in Malaysia hold bi-monthly study sessions seeking wisdom from Buddhist sutras. To garner blessings for those affected by the Paris attack in November, local Tzu Chi volunteers held a vigil for the victims. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. Beginning in August of this year, Tzu Chi volunteers in Malacca have been holding bi-monthly study sessions in Chinese and English to help volunteers study Buddhist sutras. Many of the participants have found themselves able to change their mindsets and let go of their worries.
启发我们内心的活性、内心的本性、内心的智慧。
After attending the 37 Principles to Enlightenment study sessions in Malaysia, many of the volunteers from Malacca have learned ways to change their mindsets.
I felt a change in myself after attending the 5 classes. Before this, I've had a lot of worries.
I feel that I have led an empty life in the past decades. I spent much time worrying about frivolous things. I really hope these classes help me grow.
Everybody is nice, but it's actually you yourself has.
There are even Dharma lessons in English for attendees who speak English.
Most of them are actually English speaking background. So very good when we are doing this sharing, we can discuss, they can ask, then we can get clarification because Dharma is actually very important. We have to practice in our daily life.
As humans, we are prone to forget. We uphold upright thoughts in classes, which are easily forgotten once we leave the study sessions. It's good to have these study time together to remind us.
Now everything I consider, I put in my head, and because we got our charity organization also, so I'm trying to bring all these good values into my people also.
Combining life principles with Dharma teachings, the volunteers have become more united as they continue to walk diligently on the Tzu Chi path.
The principal of Tainan's Ho Ying Elementary School had known about Tzu Chi for more than a decade, but never wanted to join. Only when Tzu Chi volunteers came to install prefab classrooms in his school, and after seeing how Tzu Chi's DaAi mothers helped pass on proper values to his students, that he decided to take action.
The man telling a Jingsi aphorism story to the students of Ho Ying Elementary School in Tainan is none other than the school's principal. However, now he's taking on the role of a DaAi father. It is all thanks to the prefab classrooms Tzu Chi has built for the school.
Master Zheng Yan said that we must nurture children with the heart of a mother and be like a bodhisattva. I think this is really true. So when I deal with children, I always make sure I humble and lower myself.
Inspired by Tzu Chi, Xie Qinghuang decided to take action and help students from disadvantaged families along with the other volunteers.
Today we are blessed with this opportunity to teach and empower others. So I think I can incorporate the Master's teaching and Tzu Chi's educational values into our school.
Having completed his volunteer training, Xie is now a certified volunteer. Putting on his Tzu Chi pin, he vows to always remember his initial aspiration.
Turning our focus to China, we see how Tzu Chi's signature loving care and DaAi TV have affected care recipient Xu Chi to change for the better. Here's more.
After a car accident in 2013, Xu Chi cannot turn her body easily. After Tzu Chi volunteers started visiting them, this family started to turn around. Now doing good deeds every day, she has stopped feeling depressed because of the death of her eldest daughter. She has become more open.
After I started watching DaAi TV, I started to change myself. In the past, I had a very bad temper.
She has been undergoing physical therapies for 2 years and also has been improving the relationship with her mother-in-law.
Now she weeps
sweaters at home with a sewing machine she has borrowed to bring in more money. Her second daughter also recycles with her. After selling the recyclables, they donate the proceeds they received to help the needy. Because Xi's husband is not in a good condition, and she herself has not completely recovered, Tzu Chi volunteers often help them clean up her home. This prompts her to act.
After I have completely recovered, I'll join Tzu Chi and do my best to help other people.
A car accident once down Xi's life, but love has enriched this family.
To better assist those who suffer from rare diseases in China, the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital and the Xiamen 5th Hospital have decided to collaborate by holding video conference to go over difficult cases. It is thanks to the successful treatment of Yang Xiaodong and Chen Tuanzhi that such a collaboration is made possible. In Xiamen, China, the suffering of many poor families is made worse by illnesses. During their visit in November, the honorary superintendent of Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital and the CEO of Tzu Chi Medical Mission helped many people who sought out their assistance. The medical communities across the Taiwan Strait have been looking to combine medical and social services to offer better assistance to these families in need. Through a video conference, doctors from the Xiamen 5th Hospital and the Taipei Tzu Chi Hospital are able to meet and go over difficult cases together.
In the future, if there are cases of rare disease and we can be of assistance, we don't have to come here personally. Through a video conference, we can offer them our professional opinions.
What prompted this collaboration across the strait are Yang Xiaodong and Chen Tuanzhi of Xiamen, who were both successfully treated in Taiwan.
At the time, we all thought that treating those two would be very difficult or even impossible.
In 2013, Yang Xiaodong made a promise to the Tzu Chi volunteers who had been by his side and went to Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital in Taiwan to be treated by Dr. Chen Yinghe. After 5 orthopedic surgeries and enduring painful rehabilitations, in just 5 months, Yang fulfilled his promise and returned to Xiamen, standing tall. Encouraged by Yang's successful story, Chen Tuanzhi, who was one of the 2 in the world to suffer genu recurvatum, also arrived in Taiwan in March of 2014 to be treated by Dr. Chen. After 7 corrective surgeries were performed on her knee joint and ankles and painful rehabilitations, in January of this year, Chen was finally able to put on a skirt and return to Xiamen standing on her feet. Thanks to these medical bodhisattvas, Yang and Chen were able to start a new life. In the future, cross-strait medical collaborations will continue to benefit more patients in need. The terror attacks in Paris, which took place on November 13th, have caused anxiety among people in France. To ease people's anxious hearts, Tzu Chi volunteers held a prayer ceremony at the local liaison office.
At this prayer ceremony, Tzu Chi volunteers in France lead attendees in singing the Tzu Chi song, Love and Care for All, hoping to ease anxious minds.
Many people were killed and injured in the terror attacks in Paris. People are feeling sad and extremely anxious. So we hope to inspire people's kind thoughts at this Tzu Chi gathering.
The prayer ceremony is attended by local residents, as well as the chief of Overseas Community Affairs Section of Bureau of Representation of Taipei in France.
The Tzu Chi Liaison Office in France is holding a prayer ceremony on behalf of the people in Paris, and it is very meaningful. We can put these so-called Dharma teachings into practice.
Our innate nature does not change. The Master often reminds us to uphold our initial vow to benefit others. With the power of compassion, we can inspire
我们
others.
就可以去感化其他的人。
Today is very it's nice gathering. I mean, it's a lesson learning. It's a happiness.
More than 100 people from different countries attended today's gathering. Although they do not know each other, they have come together to pray for the victims of the recent terror attacks and their families, in addition to praying for a world free of disasters.
Next, we turn to the United States and find out how a ranch manager in Colorado is trying to save water during the maintenance of his farm in order to preserve Maco's Valley, and see how he is setting an example for others to follow.
Well, I'm not sure I want to tell you where we are because it's pretty beautiful. We're in Mancos, Colorado, southwestern corner of the state. It's a pretty special little valley. We're definitely setting records in terms of drought and our lack of irrigation water. And there's really no precedent for that. A lot of the guys that have grown up here haven't seen it this bad, but we're certainly starting to make a preemptive strike and figure out how to stay alive and stay in business, essentially. I'm Dustin Stein. This is Jake. Do you have a last name? I don't think he has a last name. I'm the ranch manager here at Stubborn Farm and Burke Beef. We're committed to producing food. And so we sell most everything locally here, regionally, which is really great to be able to sell good, healthy food to our friends and neighbors and help provide for the communities that we live and do business in. So a lot of conservation, I think, has been reactive in terms of drought. I think certainly the younger generation is more proactive. It's something that we take a little bit more serious. And I consider doing this for another 60 years. I'm gonna have to figure out how to manage our acreage in a way that will work with climate change. The main technique I really use is a moisture meter. I take a moisture meter out to where I started and sink it in the soil, and if it's wet, I just turn everything off. Technology is one of those things that I resisted for years, but the information's out there, and it's always great to come from an educated place. And so having websites that might take you 10 or 15 minutes to look at in the morning to educate yourself about specifically what's going on with the water in this valley is a huge tool. So a lot of days you might feel like irrigating just because you can. But to have that in the back of your mind that it is an option to shut your water off for a day or a week. Even if everyone in the Mancos Valley just turned their water off when their soil was saturated, gosh, I don't know how many millions of gallons of water we would save in a year, but it would be a noticeable difference.
Colorado alone, ag is roughly 80% of all the water used in the Colorado River Basin. And so there's a perception that because they use so much more, then there's more opportunity to take from that bucket than normally is. The problem with that thinking is those are the people that grow our foods. And those are the people that make the fabric of the West what it is.
My main focus in life, I think, really and in business is to just take care of the land that I'm on. So who knows what I'll grow or what I'll produce in the future. I just like to be on the land and move some water around and grow some stuff and support this community and hopefully pass it on to somebody someday.
Beginning in March of 2014, the Pingtung City government has been working in conjunction with Tzu Chi to promote community recycling. Since its implementation a year and 8 months ago, the program has yielded great effects. On December 7th, the mayor also personally paid a visit to Master Zinyan to thank Tzu Chi for its environmental efforts.
During Master Zheng Yan's stopover in Pingtung, the city's mayor personally paid the master a visit to award a certificate of appreciation to Tzu Chi for its effort in promoting environmental conservation.
We're extremely grateful for all the support your volunteers have given us. We sincerely thank you, Master Zheng Yan, for your organization's service and efforts.
人愈来会愈惯性，吼，咱会愈做愈好啦。这应该是整个企业吼，会当减量，份数减量啦，资源增长。
This joint partnership between Tzu Chi and the local government hopes to raise the public's environmental awareness and promote a greener lifestyle at home. Since its implementation 20 months ago, the total volume of recyclables collected between April and September was some 2,000 tons more compared to the same period last year. Both parties hope to do more to promote zero waste.
配合这个滨东市呢，安尼伫咧做回收，互粪扫减量吼。即马真正是爱粪扫减量的事，所以咱爱用粪扫减量的心态，参加呢，咱的身心健康啦。
Some 3,000 recycling volunteers from Pingtung are receiving their certification this year. The master commends all for their selfless dedication and perseverance, and hopes that they may continue to work hand in hand to safeguard the planet.
In our next report, we meet 2 recycling volunteers in Malaysia who, despite their age and state of health, have found joy and new meaning in life through recycling.
Being called upon to help out the recycling station is something volunteer Wu Yanlan looks forward to each day. Her favorite task at the station is to sort papers, which keeps her occupied for hours on end each time.
I enjoy what I do, so I am always happy to be here. It makes me happy when I can tell everyone how much I made from selling recyclables. It's just garbage, but we can sell it for so much money.
Several years ago, the senior ran a small business of her own. However, when she retired, she suddenly did not know what to do with all of her free time. Thankfully, Wu found a renewed sense of purpose in Tzu Chi.
Although she has trouble walking, she is still so committed to recycling. She also suffers from stomach-related problems, so we always watch out for her.
The senior has difficulty walking due to knee osteoarthritis. Hence, her counterparts at the recycling station always prepare a taller chair for her to sit on, so she needn't bend over.
If I touch it like this, it twitches.
Sister Yanlan is so focused that she forgets about the pain in her leg. She enjoys what she does.
In the beginning, the doctor warned me that if I was not careful, I might need surgery. But look at me, I'm still in good shape.
Having dedicated herself to the environment cause for the past decade, the 75-year-old volunteer has discovered much to be grateful for in her life.
The egg cartons, the ones you always save for me.
For recycling volunteer Chang Kim Moy, the language barrier is never the issue.
I don't speak Hindi, so I use hand gestures and he understands.
We always keep them for her, otherwise it gets thrown out anyways.
Each afternoon, the 70-year-old volunteer goes around the neighborhood collecting recyclables from shop owners.
Even on rainy days, she's out collecting cardboard boxes on behalf of Tzu Chi, so we gather what we can for her as well.
We shouldn't let time pass us by idly. If we have the time, doing a bit of recycling is good for us too.
Practicing purity at the source, Chang Kim Moy gives the recyclables a rinse before sorting them.
I can't just leave it. It's better that I wash it so that it doesn't attract ants.
She's very dedicated and patient.
3 days a week, Chang practices recycling at the recycling station. Those hands which previously held poker cards are used to carry out environmental conservation.
My hobby is practicing recycling. It is more meaningful than just gambling for hours on end.
Not letting a minute of her life go past her by, Chung Kim Moy has added new meaning and depth to her life.
For the past 10 years, TIMA Northern Taiwan chapter has been conducting free clinics once every 2 months in Gonglao, New Taipei City. Before we joined the volunteers at their most recent free clinic, we first joined TIMA members in Indonesia as they provide dental checkups for students of the Nurul Imam boarding school.
Students of the Nurul Imam boarding school kick off the free clinic with a traditional Muslim ceremony. Due to inadequate funding and the lack of medical equipment and manpower, the school has been working with the Tzu Chi Foundation since 2013 to conduct free clinics here twice a year.
I thought I might as well have this tooth extracted because the dentist said the cavity was so severe that the filling won't fix it, so I agreed to have the tooth removed. While the dentist was performing the tooth extraction, he came across another tooth that needed to be removed as well.
Most of these students have severe tooth decay, some more severe than others. A lot of them have tartar buildup on their teeth as well. I think we need to reinforce their oral health knowledge and show them how to brush their teeth properly.
In the space of a day, a team of 49 TIMA volunteers served a total of 1,200 students. Yet the patience and kindness exhibited by the volunteers left a deep impression in the students' hearts.
We hope that our friendship with Tzu Chi lasts forever. Through this free clinic, we also want to show our students that we care for their physical well-being too.
Caring for the students' well-being, the love of Tzu Chi volunteers has once again crossed all religious divides. Such love is also found domestically as Tzu Chi's medical volunteers care for seniors and their foreign caretakers, as a part of TIMA's bi-monthly free clinic in Gonglao, New Taipei City.
We want these caregivers to know that, although they're looking after these seniors care just as much for them and see them as their own family. Sometimes the bond they share is even stronger than that of blood relatives.
Many of the elderly in Gonglao rely on caregivers to tend to their needs. Hence, TIMA members and Tzu Chi volunteers' care extends to these caregivers as well.
To win the hearts of others and always be welcomed, we must be cautious of our tone of voice and facial expression.
It makes more sense to read it in your own language, right? This is a gift for you.
This bi-monthly free clinic is a commitment between TIMA volunteers and residents of Gonglao.
Time flies. It has been 10 years already. I have followed my passion all these years.
Such passion is also the reason these residents have formed unshakable friendships with TIMA doctors and Tzu Chi volunteers.
Recently, a group of delegations from China's Gansu visited Hualien's Tzu Chi University and its affiliated junior high school to get to know Tzu Chi's humanistic education as they plan to incorporate these ways of learning into their own school systems. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.